Hi there, this is my addition to the philosophy where I had some problems due to the lack of athletes with the proper capacity in understanding the English language. My solution was to use my wife as a subject, but as it is probably apparent, she is far from fluent in the English as well. So I gave the session in her mother tongue due to the lack of experience of my wife in any kind of training, and then I replicated the same session in English. She has not any kind of problem in mobility or motor control, and the patterns without any load are well performed.
Okay, so I just want you to put the bar not in your neck but around your spine, so around the spine of your scapula. Okay.
So, in the first clip, I reckon making a very technical communication to a learning environment. Even if the subject area of expertise is physiotherapy with proper knowledge of anatomical terms, a simpler and more externally cued communication could be advised in the training environment.
Okay. Just can you go? Yeah. Okay. Are you comfortable? Okay. So just extend your knees now. Just a little step forward. Now try to be comfortable with the foot shoulder wide and squat. Okay, and up. Try not to lean your hips to the right, okay? Okay? Okay, slowly. Inhale and exhale. Okay. Okay. Try to be a little bit quicker, a little bit faster so when you go up, okay? Okay, let's go down, inhale, okay? Be careful with your hips. Your hips are going to the right side, so a little bit careful with that. Okay, so go down again, yeah, two more, okay? And up, fast.
It is obvious the over feedback given in the second clip. Being one of the first times performing the back squat and having a pretty nice form, I should have given some opportunity to the subject to feel and to think about what was happening and to correct herself, offering the opportunity to the subject to ask for feedback and to explore her own movement pattern, not getting her so much, risking limiting her in the daily performance in a coach-dependent way. This overfeedback can lead to frustration if the subject, due to normal structural and functional difference, is incapable of performing the exercise the way we do. It is proposed to better function in the daily life, the self-exploration of efficiency and efficacy in each movement pattern.
Okay, extend your knees powerfully, okay? Just one more.
Given the feedback, extend your knees, it is given an internal feedback, therefore, based on the scientific knowledge not providing the most efficient communication. A communication outcome-led should be applied in the training environment, especially when learning of basic patterns are occurring.
Okay, right now we're going to perform some deadlifts. So a deadlift is just to pick up something on the floor and bring it up. So I just want you to do that. So yeah, try to do it. Okay, and slowly down. Try to, yeah. Let's try to put in the initial position. Let's try to put a little bit the hip higher and not to flex so much the knee. Okay, so you can flex the knee, but not that much. Okay, try again.
It is obvious the comfort I have in teaching deadlift comparing to the back squat. As I see deadlift inserted in the daily activities, I give the opportunity to the subject to perform the movement the way she seems to be correct, not giving, in the first repetition, much feedback.
Okay, and slowly down. You can look forward, straight forward to start forming the mirror. Okay, so and try to put the bar closer to your legs. Okay, let's go. Just one more. Okay, and down. Okay, it was better, but let's try another thing. Let's do the same thing now, okay? But I want you to stay a little closer to the bar, okay? And now, like I said, the hips are a little bit higher, not so flexed, okay? The knees, okay? So you pick up the bar, and now I want you to scratch against the supports, okay? All the way up and all the way down, okay? And when you hit this first piece of metal, it will happen. Okay? But you have to scratch the bar against supports. Okay? So let's try that. Please. Keep a little bit closer to the bar. The bar is your friend. Okay? Again. Yeah. Closer to the bar. Remember that you have to scratch the bar against the supports. Okay? Yeah. Just a little step forward with your feet. Yeah. That's good. And now, down. Yes. Better. Up. Try to do step forward. Yeah. Now. Yeah, better. Okay. First one. Okay. And up. Okay. Just one more.
As I observe a not optimized pattern and the verbal feedback was not sufficient to improve it, I choose a constraint-led approach. It is very efficient because it forces the subject to perform the movement correctly automatically, being easier to consolidate the motor learning. It was the own central nervous system to solve the problem offered by the constraint, similar to the way problems will be given by the different daily environments. Having a visual demonstration through the verbal instructions improved the efficiency of the learning process. Therefore, I feel like in the last clip shown, the coach process chosen was effective. Beside that, I didn't choose a more effective feedback to the subject that was lifting the bar way ahead of her body. Some external cues like imagine that the bar is covering your shoelaces could be more effective.
Try to stop. You can try not to push with your arms, but you push with your leg, like push the ground off. Okay? Don't worry about the sled bench. Worry about pushing the floor. Pushing the floor with your legs. Okay? Okay? Yeah. Push off. Okay? Push to the ankle. Push the ground. Try to push the planet Earth off orbit, okay? Yeah. Push the planet Earth off orbit, yeah. Okay, exactly. That's pretty nice.
In the last clip, choosing a more externally oriented cue, push off the ground, and try to put planet Earth off orbit, it was easier to the subject to correct the pattern. About the planning of the session, it was applied a very blocked session, being the first time the subject was performing any kind of resistance training. In this way, I offered an errorless environment to simplify the motor learning process and to enhance confidence. But my perspective of a training session is that it has to be most errorful and random-oriented possible, as soon the capacity of the athlete allows us to do that. This perspective is based on the evidence that in this way we can proportionate a greater capacity of motor variability in the daily and sports activities, improving performance and diminishing lesion probability due to the ability of the athlete to overcome any obstacle of the environment by our own. Concluding, we need to know that the type of coaching style we choose will influence the development of our athlete. Balance is needed in your presence within the sessions. If we want to give the safety and ability to perform as efficient as possible the movement pattern, we want as well an athlete that can overcome constraints given by their sports environment, and that will modify the sessions over the time. The type of feedback and timing is crucial, and should as well be dependent of the level of our athlete. It is fundamental to avoid a coach dependency. As experience goes higher, we should give the opportunity to our athlete to choose when and how wants feedback. That way, we are preparing them to the real sports environment. Generally, I need to improve my communication skills, especially in timing and quantity, and if I was able to be an external cue provider, I could improve my feedback efficacy. So, hopefully, this video was useful and feel welcome to ask any type of questions. Cheers!